Here's the big question. How is it that most entrepreneurs hustle and are always busy and struggle to take just one step forward only to fall two steps back? They're dedicated, determined, and driven, but only a few finally break through and win. This show uncovers those quantum leap patterns of highly successful people so you can simply model what they do and apply to your future success. That's the question, and the answers are right here. My name is Brigitta Hoeferle, and this is the Success Patterns Show. Happy Tuesday, everyone. My name is Brigitta Hoeferle. I am the founder of the Success Patterns movement and the CEO of the Center of NLP. And it is my distinct pleasure to be here with you on this beautiful Tuesday in October. And for the ones that are watching it as a recording, now is always a beautiful time to dig deeper in what the patterns are that are perhaps holding you back. And we're going to give it to you in this show of how you can move forward, because we have incredible guest experts. Today, you're in for a treat. She brought, and this is a female guest expert, so be ready. It's not just any woman. She brought a gift. So at the very end of our show today, you're going to walk away with a gift. So stay tuned to this. With this show, we have you in mind. We have your success in mind, and that's how we designed it, because the quality of your success starts with your attitude towards it. Now, this guest expert that I have today is going to model the attitude that you want to have towards success. We as humans are hardwired for hands-on applications by living teachers. We're not theoreticians, because they just kind of talk a good game but don't do the rest of the stuff. Here are grand masters at work, and we're going to give you tips how to implement the success that we are modeling for you. That means that you're at the right place at the right time, which is right now. So we're going to jump right in and get started, because we have an incredible show. This woman, when I say she's a fearless leader, she is a fearless leader, a highly successful entrepreneur. She's built businesses that span the globe. She has a true focus on humanity and helping others. We're going to hear more about that. She's driven to empower individuals in their own journeys to success. She's a world-class speaker, 17-time international best-selling author. She's a powerful business owner. Her no-nonsense style has catapulted her in the areas of building worldwide brands, manufacturing award-winning products, publishing international bestsellers, and creating multiple platforms in the areas of health, wellness, personal growth, and eco-conscious improvements. In conjunction with her keen sense of business, she also brings fun, fabulous, and feminine touches into everything that she does. Absolutely. She combines ferocity with femininity in a new and an innovative business style. She has an acclaimed brand, which is Ignite. She helps people tell their unique story and shows them how they can ignite their lives, and through that, help other people ignite their lives. Her international best-selling compilation books have reached bestseller status in over 12 countries, and we're going to hear even more on today's show what she has up her sleeve. It is a lot. It is great. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Lady JB Owen. Hello,
yeah, master. I like what you said, the master. Yes, absolutely. Masters at our craft. Welcome and thank you. And I'm so delighted to be here.
Oh my gosh, it is all, I was so looking forward to having you on the show. I've had you on the show before with a little bit more hair. I love when we came on, it's so cute. Turn around again. Come on, let's show. It's so freaking cute. I love it. I love it. So, you know, you were on my show, I think in April this year, and you mentioned a few things in the April show. Well, one of the things was that you're going to go on a bike ride. Now, guys, this isn't just any bike ride. JB, What kind of bike ride?
Well, you're right. It wasn't just any bike ride. We did something epic. My husband and I jumped on our tandem bike and we decided to cycle 10,000 kilometers across Canada, coast to coast, Vancouver to Newfoundland, and raise money for charity and also raise awareness for what is possible. Not an athlete, 50 years old, and never cycled before until 2020. And we decided that we were going to do something great and grand and really show people that if you put your mind to it, you can make it happen. And it was a beautiful, challenging, life-changing experience.
Now, I was watching you. People, could watch you during that cycling experience. And at one point, I mean, there were many lessons that you got. And at one point, what happened?
Well, we had been cycling for quite a few days and our bike kept breaking down. Our chain kept breaking. We kept falling off. I even fell down. We fell down on the highway with the cars speeding by. And we ended up taking our bike into multiple bike shops and nobody could figure out what was wrong with it. And finally, we actually cycled about 2,000 kilometers to the cycle shop where we bought the bike. And we found out that our frame had been completely cracked. We'd been cycling with our bike going 90 kilometers an hour, down through the mountains, the Rocky Mountains, on a broken frame. And it was a really fabulous experience of, a lot of times the universe was saying to us, like, get off the bike, you need the bike fixed, something's wrong, something was wrong. But it was also a big challenge in like, what do we do now? They literally told us your bike is irreparable. You cannot continue to ride it. We had 8,000 kilometers to go and we had to just make a big decision. Do we give up and go home and quit? Or what do we do? And so we just bought another bike on the spot and kept going.
So there was no time to question this and to kind of ponder over it. Oh, I'm going to get a bike. You just
interestingly enough, when we went to the shop, they said, the crazy thing is we have a tandem frame in our storage. We've had it in storage for 2 years since COVID. And we've been wanting to build this bike and turn it into a full-fledged bike because it just was a frame. But now's the perfect time. So we're going to literally, your bike is under warranty. We will build you a new bike. And I was like, awesome. And so we later that day, they're like, well, get on it. And I said, how long does it take to build a bike? They're like 24, 48 hours. I'm like, okay, great. So we ended up going actually to our hometown to be in the parade while the bike was being built. And they called us that night and said, good news, we can get all the parts, but it's going to take 3 weeks. And we're like, what? We don't have 3 weeks. And
exactly.
So, we kept getting these hits of like, it's possible, it's not possible. We'll fix it, but it won't be fixed. And so we're like, we can't wait 3 weeks. We'll just buy a new bike. And so we just decided, like, sometimes you have to decide if you're all in. And when the universe challenges you and puts something up against you to say, well, like literally we were an hour from home. We could have just quit, gone home and given up. And that, folks, was not an option. We had, we wanted to ignite humanity, ignite the world, show people what's possible. And it's a good example of things come up that toughen you up and ask you to decide, are you in, are you out? Are you all in, are you all out? What are you going to do? And that was definitely one of those moments.
Wow. How does that relate to business? I mean, you're a business strategist and you help others. So how does all of these lessons from the bike ride, right? How does that translate?
Well, it's great that you asked me. In fact, I've written a book called Wisdom from the Back of the Bike. It's coming out in November, and it is all about how life really emulates our business, how strategies are circumstances, a lot to do with our hobbies. Me cycling, for example, how does that translate to business? Well, so often in business, you have a big idea. Cycling across Canada, folks, big idea. And you have a lot of people who may not be supporting that idea. People told us too hard, too far, too expensive. Look at gas prices. Why would you want to do that? It might be scary. What if you get hurt? But the thing is, you'll always have naysayers and you'll always have things to ask, not how are you going to handle this, but what are you going to do with this information going forward? We could have quit. We could have stopped. But the truth is, you've got to dig deep to figure out, am I willing to do what it takes to push through the barrier? I sometimes call it the resistance barrier, to keep going. Because I will tell you, 68 days later, we did reach our finish line and it was phenomenal. We ended up in a town called Heart's Content in Newfoundland. And it was just the most glorious feeling ever. And of course, we raised a lot of money for charity. So it made it all worth it.
Oh my gosh. Now, you have an incredible brand and we see it behind you, Ignite. And you are truly there to inspire others, to ignite the flame within each person individually and in groups. And that has a ripple effect, right? When we do what we're called to do and not give in to all of the naysayers and all of the, mind chatter that we might have, we're actually moving forward and we're bringing like a big wave with us, a lot of people that will support that same cause. Is that the reason, or is that one reason why you were knighted?
Well, great question. Thank you very much. Yes, just this past summer, I was recently knighted, and it really has to do a lot with my humanitarian efforts. And I'm with you. We all have a responsibility. Each and every one of us has the capability of doing something truly magnanimous for others. Sometimes we get to a place in our success where we realize, I have all the success I need. Now I want to help others. I want to make a bigger impact. And as a publishing house and someone who's dedicated to igniting lives, we decided we wanted to build schools, build homes, build libraries, and really start educating people in what's possible for them. And so, yes, I was acknowledged and recognized for my humanitarian work, and was very blessed to be knighted by the Royal Order. So thank you for asking.
Well, and you also received an award for your humanitarian work. What was the
Yeah.
award?
Yeah, very blessed. The Be Great Foundation and Create Impact also recognized me for my humanitarian work. And I was recently awarded a humanitarian award for igniting humanity, which goes along with the brand and everything that I'm doing in the documentary that I'm producing called Ignite Humanity. And, awards are fantastic. But what I will tell you is I was very much moved while I was in the room. There were 12 other recipients receiving other awards. And then, of course, the other team members or people, friends and family. It really was a room of hundreds of people who were dedicated to helping others, everything from food banks to a very young girl who was doing things to help feed the children. I mean, it was really powerful to be in a room filled with people who their main focus is how can we help others? Because we know that when we help ourselves, we have the capacity to help others. And by helping others, we help more. And you and I both agree now more than ever on the planet, we need to be supporting each other so that each one of us rises up to a place where we can help one another instead of pulling each other down or living in fear. How can we uplift? How can we inspire? How can we ignite? I always say if people could live in the center of what's possible, imagine what they could create. And so that's really, I think, one of the most exciting things about that award was being around all those other people doing really incredible things.
How do you feel about that statement? You are the sum total of the people that you surround yourself with.
Well, it is true. It definitely is true. But I'd like to take that a little step further. How can you surround yourself with people who increase your sum impact? Like, think about that. If you could, often we're surround ourselves with people because we want those people to elevate us. But what if you could attract people so that those people around you could actually increase the sum value of the impact you could make? And I'm a big proponent of it's not about the dollar amount. It's not about the zeros. It's not about the bank account. You can make a massive impact on a very few people, but those people have very massive touch points with other people. Or you can make a very big impact with a lot of people, and those people have the ability to make a massive impact with even more people. So surrounding yourself with people that increase your impact for me is like, okay, how do we do that? And that's only going to happen if I elevate myself. I got to elevate myself to get people to surround around me.
And when you elevate yourself, you're elevating others. With that elevation comes a visibility, right? So do people ask you, hey, JB, hey, lady JB, how do right? I love that. How do I become more visible? How do I get to tell my story? Because, there are a lot of people that say, well, who am I? I'm just this little, person with this little story. What are the opportunities? What are the possibilities?
Yeah, it's a great question because a lot of times, folks, you can go back in my history and it wasn't that long ago, wasn't that many years ago that I was just like everyone else, clawing my way out of the pit, trying to figure it out, trying to find my way. But one of the things that started to differentiate me from some of the other people I was in my sphere was I was really willing to use my story, the background that I had been through, some of my journey, and what I call an ignite moment, that difficult, challenging time that really starts to define you, that really like, rubbing the diamond, the coal into a diamond, and allow that story to be what was propelling me forward. I wasn't ashamed. I wasn't hiding it. I wasn't letting it be a skeleton in the closet. I was really using that story to start elevating my impact. And that what I talk about now mostly is that every single person on the planet has their own unique story. They have an ignite moment. They have multiple ignite moments in health and wellness and fitness and family and friendships. Those ignite moments have defined them in many ways. And for some, it's been a difficult journey, no lie. But the interesting thing is many of those people have used that ignite moment to allow them to become their platform, their message, the thing that they do, their advocacy. And so think about it. You have an ignite moment. You have something in your life that has maybe been a trial or a tribulation, but you've come through it on the other side. That is your unique IP. That belongs to you. No one can take that from you. And you can use your unique IP, your story, to catapult yourself forward and connect with people just like you, people who will resonate with your story.
Boy. And so that taps into, because people come to you and to me and they say, yeah, but there are other people out there that do the same thing that I do, or that have experienced something similar than I have experienced. And the point that you're making is your story is your very unique brand, your very unique IP.
Yeah,
that's powerful.
Right. And nobody has your story. Maybe somebody has a story of, particularly my story, being in a relationship that had domestic violence in it. Maybe we have a similar story, but we didn't have the similar journey. We didn't have the similar process, same background. We didn't have the similar understanding. We didn't do with it what the same. Everybody's story is unique, and we're unique. Some people might relate to me. Some people might relate to somebody else. Someone might like my language, my blonde hair, my pink shirt, or they might not. The interesting thing is you're going to attract the people who are most aligned with your message. And in fact, as a business owner, those are the people you want. You want to create the least passive resistance to your customers and to your database, because you want to work with people who resonate with you. So why hide who you are? Why try to be something different? Why invent a story when you really can honestly be authentic, vulnerable, and truthful in your story? And that attracts people. People want to do business with people, not with billboards, not with websites, not with colors. They want to do business with people who authentically show up and then use the perseverance or use the dedication or use the trials and tribulations to better themselves. Because everybody wants to go from here to here in business. Start here, move here. It's always transformational.
It is. And going back to the people that you surround yourself with and the people that seek you out, that want to hang out with you. And I know that hanging out is probably not the right word, as I'm about to tell our listeners who you're going to see next. You're going to travel to India when? Next month?
Yeah, November 15th, I'm off to India, folks, and I'm very, very honored and blessed to be hanging out with the Dalai Lama. I really, really have thought about who's igniting humanity, who's making a big impact on the planet. Well, the Dalai Lama, in my opinion, is the one person who transcends all differences and comes together to ignite humanity. And so I spent the last 7 months reaching out to his team to see if I can travel there to meet him, to ask him about his ignite moment.
Wow. That is a big deal. That is a big deal. Are you going to write a book about how that journey went on, how you met the Dalai Lama?
Well, I'm actually going to be doing a TV show and a documentary about it, because ignite moments for me have become so profound. Let me share a story. I was recently on a plane and the woman was sitting beside me, and I didn't talk to her the whole entire time until the end. She started sharing with me a little bit about her ignite moment. She'd lost her father had moved away when she was 3. All she knew was his name, his mom's name, and her mother's name. And so she knew what town he lived in. And there were 27 other Miguel Luises in that town. And she ran her finger down that list and picked one and phoned him and said, "Is your mom Peggy? Did you marry a woman named Lisa?" And he said, "Yes." And she said, "I'm your daughter." Now, hearing her story, instantly, I was connected to her. I even went so far to say, if that plane went down, I would do everything to save her. And not hearing her ignite moment, if the plane went down, I would just save myself. So I learned very quickly that Ignite moments actually bring us together. They speak to the brain. They actually create a different physiological experience in the body. And so when we share our Ignite moments, our authentic truth, we actually are creating a deeper connection with one another. We're actually speaking to each other on a very cellular level. And that for me was super powerful. And back to the Dalai Lama, if we could hear the Dalai Lama's Ignite moment and an opportunity to hear other people's Ignite moment, including yours, my darling, then
Of
that
course.
would bring us closer.
And I feel like I can, jump on my bike and ride over to Canada to come see you. Not that that would ever happen, but I could do it.
Right. Right.
So you're giving there's so many different forms of media that you are using and utilizing, and one of the forms of media is book publishing. Tell us more about what's coming up.
Yeah, I'm very proud. I mean, we're on to our 17th book that we're publishing of compilation books. We take amazing authors who have fabulous Ignite moments, and we allow them and empower them and inspire them to write their story in an Ignite book. And we really help them through a very transformational process. They're not just writing words on a page and pages in a book. They're actually assigning a new meaning to experience in their life. It's something that happened that was tragic or difficult. They're actually writing that story from hindsight, from a new perspective of today, a new version of it, and then they're healing the journey that they went through it so that they can help someone else and give them some advice, words of wisdom, or golden nuggets. And that powerful experience of writing their story has transformed over 700 authors in our ecosystem. We're so proud of that. And our new book, Ignite Humanity, which I didn't tell you this, but we want to make a Guinness Book of World Records with the largest number of compilation stories in a book ever. And we want people who've had Ignite moments and in their Ignite moment has moved them forward and allow them to do something that is going to ignite humanity. We see it all the time. Mothers against drunk driving, something terrible happened, and yet they become advocates to help other mothers. We see it in many, many different arenas, Alcoholics Anonymous, all those things where people have had difficult times. And yet now that difficult time has made them want to help others, open a school, start a nonprofit, save the planet, help the whales. I mean, all kinds of Ignite moments have led to doctors and inventors and authors and speakers because they want to actually now improve others and uplift the spirit of humanity.
That's what we're all about, uplifting. If we can uplift, and especially women, okay? Can we talk about that women uplifting other women, that we're there, here are my shoulders, JB, stand on them. I always wanted the lady to stand on my shoulders. That came out wrong. We're going to cut that out.
Fabulous. Let's do it.
But that's who we are, right? Go ahead, stand on my shoulders, not suppressing of, I got to be greater than everyone else. That is not who you stand for or what you stand for. It's not what I stand for. How do people learn more about being in the Ignite book and writing their Ignite stories? How do you vet them? How do people get in touch with you?
Yeah, of course, you can go to igniteyou.life. You can go to Amazon or any of the other book publishing or book distribution places and find an Ignite book. You can read a book. You can even get a hold of me directly and I can send you a book, or you can go to our website, igniteyou.life, and you can download a copy. Our next book, Ignite Humanity, is all about people who've had Ignite moments that are inspiring humanity. We're also doing a book called Ignite Your Faith, which is all about people who've had amazing moments, Ignite moments that are inspiring faith. And our next book to publish in November is Ignite Forgiveness. Really powerful stories about people who stepped into forgiveness, and by forgiving, they've ignited their life. And so we just continue to look at really wonderful topics. Ignite Your Courage is coming out. Ignite Your Purpose is coming out. And they really are designed to bring people together, create a wonderful collaboration. People are marketing the book and you're benefiting from it. Obviously, the stories are helping the readers. And then, well, all the proceeds of the online book go towards building our schools in Indonesia. So I'm very committed to building those schools, and all those online proceeds go towards helping kids in Indonesia who need it realize that they too can create Ignite moments in their life.
and it just continues to spin or create a bigger ripple and ignite even more lives. I love this conversation. I love the Ignite brand. I'm a big fan. You're the first one on my show that came back twice. So I'm super, super excited about that. I know. I mean, you and our kindred spirits. If I could say one thing that really stood out was the your story is your own IP.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of authors I have a lot of people who come to me, and especially with my legacy mentoring, where they'll say, JB, I don't have a business. I don't have an idea. I don't have a product. I don't know how to get started. And the first thing I ask them is, well, what's your story? Like, where'd you come from? How'd you get here? You know, what's some of the things you've been through? What do you stand for? What do you want to be known for? And within seconds, people will tell me something very profound that happened to them that they remember distinctly. And that story has actually pushed them forward to want to do something more. And I immediately say to them, that story is your IP. That story is your business. It's your unique your intellectual property. There it is. It's yours. No one can take that from you. So if you've been through a tough marriage, if you've gone bankrupt, if you grew up on a farm, if you grew up in a small town, if you grew up on the wrong side of the tracks, if you had 10 brothers or a single child, like all of that ingredients makes into your very, very special dynamic that people want to know about you. And that is the very beginning of a powerful business. If you have been through something and you are a little bit farther ahead of people, you can help pull them forward through that experience that they've been through because you have a little bit more wisdom and you're able to help them transcend that experience. That is the beginnings of a business.
And that's the beginning of a great journey. And I know that we have listeners on right now and that are watching the recording that do want to get in touch with you. How do they best get in touch with you?
I'm really easy to find. And of course, Facebook, Instagram, you can get to me, JB Owen. But I encourage you to just email me directly, jb@igniteyou.life. I love to talk to my customers. I love to talk to clients. I love hearing Ignite moments. And I really love supporting each other. You can go to our website, igniteyou.life, and you can just reach out to my team from there. But if you really have an Ignite moment and you really want to share, please just find me on Facebook, find me on Instagram, or email me directly. Because I believe that if you have a desire to write your story, it's because somebody really needs to hear it. There's somebody out there calling to hear your story, and they need to hear exactly what you have to share, the way you went through it, the color of your skin, the neighborhood you grew up in, the tone of your voice. That's going to speak to them directly. And so if something inside of you is saying, I need to write, it's because someone is calling to hear what you have to say.
Ooh, preach it, sister.
Yeah.
I love it. I love this. Guys, if you have not listened to it yet, make sure that you re-listen to this recording of today and get with JB. Now, before I let you go, JB, you brought something for us. What'd you bring?
Yeah, I've given a subscription, or sorry, an issue of our magazine subscription, Spark Your Success. Spark Your Success is one of our magazines that we print. It's got all kinds of ideas, suggestions, tips, and strategies on how you can spark success in your life. And then every Friday, we actually have something called Ignite Live, where I come on and I share with you the top business strategies that I've learned that week. Some of the best information ever comes out of me on Fridays on Ignite Live. And then our community shows up and I actually let you network and connect with other people. Tell people what you need, share with people, meet people inside the Ignite community. It's a fabulous opportunity to show up at Ignite Live. And both of those are just free to you to enjoy.
Wow, that is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to say again where you can find and access the information, and that is on mentorwithjb.com/success patterns. I'm going to say that again, mentorwithjb.com/success patterns. If you see us, you're also going to see it running here in our little slide, mentorwithjb.com/success patterns. Get with JB Owen, Lady JB Owen. JB, I can't wait for you to come back on the show again, which will definitely happen. And I can't wait to hug you in person when I come to Canada or when you come to Atlanta. Thank you. And I can't wait to hear all about the Dalai Lama and your journey to India. There's so much greatness in that. Thank you from my heart to yours for the work that you do. I
Right back at
appreciate
you,
you.
girl. Love it,
I
love it. Love what
appreciate
you're
you so
doing
much.
and appreciate you so much. I'm coming to see you in Atlanta.
Okay. I will put on a pot and we will make great tea and have great conversations. Until then, guys, thank you for tuning in. Get with JB. Tune in again next Tuesday, same time, same place for the Success Pattern Show. JB, thank you, girl. Mwah. Thank you for tuning in to the Success Pattern Show at www.thesuccesspatternshow.com. My name is Brigitta Hoeferle.